I have made many a journal or binded my own books over the years in different styles, but now I am planning on making a prompt journal. A prompt journal is basically a journal that already has pre-made prompts for you, so that way you don't have to think of something to write every day. You just answer the prompt or answer the question or whatever the journal is asking you to do, you just answer it or do the task. The reason why I like prompt journals is because sometimes journals can seem a little daunting just looking at all the blank pages. And even though I want to journal, sometimes looking at the pages is a little like, oh no, look at all these blank pages I have to fill. So that's why I enjoy prompt journals. Now, I did make prompt journals for my family one Kwanzaa. I made everyone very pretty prompt journals, if I do say so myself. But for some reason with Kwanzaa gifts, I always make them for everyone else. And then I never make one for myself as well. So I thought I deserved to make one for myself. So that's what I'm doing right here. So basically you can see me laying out all the pages in Publisher. I'm basically just putting in text boxes and then writing in all the prompts that I want to have in my own prompt journal. The only issue is when it was time to print it. Okay, first of all, Publisher hates me, so it doesn't print correctly. Second of all, I did it in the wrong template. So it's showing up on each page instead of it being like 2 pages on one actual page. So, I had to redo the whole thing and put it in the correct template, which I ended up doing. And then, that was annoying because I had to fix it all. But either way, doesn't matter. It took me about an hour to fix it. Who cares? So then it was time to print it. So basically I export it as a PDF because once again, Publisher hates me. And then I print all of the even number pages. So this is just regular Georgia Pacific cardstock that I bought at Walmart. And it is 92, no, it's not 92, it's 110 pound cardstock. I actually use this paper all the time to paint on, so I'm very used to using it. So basically what I did was that I printed all the odd numbers. So I'm going to print out all the odd number pages because for some reason Publisher doesn't like to work very well with me. And it doesn't print the way I want it to. So I printed all the odd number pages out. And then what I'm going to do is turn it upside down and then flip it. And then I'm going to put it back in the printer. And then I'm going to print all the even number pages out. Okay, so that is all of the odd number pages, and now I'm going to flip them over and print all the even number pages. So basically what you do is you turn it upside down and then you flip it and then you put this stack back in there, and then it should print the way I want it to, all the even number pages. And now time for the evens. So as you can see on this side, they are at the top still where I want them, and if you flip it over, it's still in line with the page before it. Oh, I didn't even show you. It's at the top on this side, and then it's still in line on this side, as opposed to it being up here on this side, and then when you flip it, it's down there. And that's why we rotate the paper first and then flip it, just to make sure that everything's lined up the way it should be, so we're good to go. So once I had everything lined up the way I wanted it to be, I basically just folded one page so that I can have a crease line so that I knew where to put my dots and poke my holes in. And then from there, I just measured out exactly where I wanted the holes to go. So I want a hole in the middle, the very center of the page. And then from there, I do 1 inch out until I get a little too close to the end. So I think I did maybe 7 holes in total. I just don't like to be too close to the edge because otherwise you're going to rip it. So then I just took my awl and poked holes through the whole page. And then it was time to sew it up. But as you will see later on, this was not a step I was supposed to take yet. Sometimes I just have happy hands and I forget all the steps because it's been so long since I binded a book. So I did forget some of the steps. So just forgive me for that. But even though I did forget some of the steps, I am still, sewing it the way that I would sew it. So basically, it's like a basic stitch. You go in one hole, out the other. Then when you get to the top, you just overlap and go right through the same holes until you get right back to the middle. And then I tied a knot in the back, and then I pulled the string through one more time. And then I tied a knot on the inside of that just to make sure that it's secure. I actually tied 2 knots because I'm a little bit paranoid. I don't want my books falling apart. So I tied 2 knots, cut off the strings, and then that was that. But once I was done with it, then I was like, oh, it's cover time. So that's what I'm doing right here. This is just a sheet of watercolor paper. I'm just folding it down the middle. And then I'm going to draw the design that I want to be on the front cover, which just turns out to be just these symbols, just fire, water, earth, and air. Not in that particular order, but just the symbols that I wanted to have on the front cover of the book. I thought it'd be a nice, cute, little simple design to have on it. Plus, I don't really do much on the front of my journal books. I don't know why, but I don't even actually usually paint them. But this time, I was feeling a little adventurous. And if you know me, you know I love a galaxy. So, had to throw a little galaxy on there. It's actually been a while since I've done a galaxy, so that was kind of fun to paint. I mean, besides the manifestation box, I did do a galaxy on that, but it's been a while since I've done a galaxy in watercolor, I should say, because the manifestation box was acrylic paints, if I'm not mistaken. So once I was done, I just took the tape off, and then I had to cut the strings out of the book because, happy hands once again. So then I had to refold one of the center pages so that way I can use the crease to line it up with the book cover. So once I did that, I just re-poked holes through the ones I already had so that way they lined up with the book covers one, and then I proceeded to re-stitch in the same manner that I stitched it the first time. Sometimes I forget the steps, okay? I forgot a couple steps and I went a little bit ahead. So my bad, I didn't mean to do that. But you know what? It still turned out a-okay in my opinion. I think I picked pretty good prompts. Basically, I just went on Pinterest and found some prompts that I like, just some journal prompting questions. So that's what most of the stuff in the book is about. And then I just went through and just refolded down every page so that the book would lay mostly flat. I don't have that many pages in this one, so I didn't think I needed a whole, like a book press thing or anything. Then I just rounded the corners of the cover, and then I was done. I really like the way this one turned out. I did 2 more of these just for my cousins for their birthdays, but I didn't record those ones. It's a much bigger book and it would have been too long to record. So, you get what you get. So you get this one. I'm happy with it. It's pretty. So, bye.